top of the table.
There are days when you really don't feel like getting out of the bed, and I'm sure that you and me and most of us would have faced those days, would have been through those days when we are feeling very low, very blue. We just don't feel like meeting anyone. We just want to, be on a bed or possibly just be on the couch and just munch on something and, be all by ourselves, isolated from the rest of the world, and maybe watch something on one of the OTT platforms or something. Okay. And you don't even feel like doing a daily chores. But does that sound like depression to you?
So Sheetal, yes, there are days, and even with me, I had so many days. Many a times during a day, I feel, oh, I should not be doing this. What am I doing? I don't think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I just want to watch something, just be myself, get that space for myself. But Sheetal, when we speak about all of this you feel once in a week, twice in a week, not every day. So if we look at it, sadness, so this is something where I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling I'm feeling indifferent. On the other hand, sadness or indifference is an emotion, and if you look at being depressed or in being in the state of depression, it is much more than just an emotion. It's actually a state of being.
So, Jaswanti, does that mean that sometimes we ourselves mistake sadness for depression? And what about the celebrities who say that they have been depressed? Could they also be battling sadness instead?
Sheetal, see that this can be a very controversial statement to be passed, but I would say yes, sadness is the first step to depression, or I would say a long-term prolonged sadness, yes, is said to be a symptom. So there could be a possibility, but until and unless we know what were the symptoms that the person was going through, we really cannot term it whether this was depression or just mere prolonged period of sadness. Now let's take example of Deepika Padukone. Okay, Sheetal, what do you think if you look at her story? She being a Bollywood actress, what do you think her story of battling depression was?
I think Jaswanti, she's also been very open about, what she's been going through. And I remember that once on KBC, she mentioned that, and I'd like to quote her here, saying that I didn't feel like going to work or meeting anybody. I did not want to go out. I didn't feel like doing anything. And many times, I don't know if I should say this, but I didn't feel like living anymore. I felt like I had no purpose. And these were the words of Deepika Padukone. Now that to me sounds like a serious depression and not sadness for sure.
Exactly, Sheetal. So you understand how we were able to understand that it was not sadness, but it was depression. And if I had to ask why, it's because, she had everything. Like, she was on the peak of her career. She was doing so well. She was having blockbuster movies. And yet she had this thought of a trigger, or because of a trigger, of not having or not living or having a suicidal ideation. So, this is what differentiates a person with sadness and depression.